What's going on, people? Ryan Williams AFC here with a new video, guys. Now, if you're new to the channel, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Road to 150 subs, guys, to the end of March. Let's get it. And of course, I want to hear from you guys in the comment section on this video. Now, today, of course, I'm joined by my homie, my boy Reiss from Kingsgambit TV. Introduce yourself, bro, and of course, let the people know who do you support.
Yep, like you said, Reiss from Kingsgambit TV. Check out my channel for the latest Tesla, tech, and gaming videos. We upload every week, every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Got a new video coming out this week talking about enhanced autopilot on the Tesla. So make sure you check that one out if you haven't subscribed to me already. The link will be in the description. As I said, we actually support two complete different teams. He's an Arsenal fan, as you already know, because this is the Arsenal channel. But I'm actually a Man United fan, weirdly enough.
Oh dear, the rivalry. But listen, we've been friends for a very long time. There's been a lot of banter, a lot of salt thrown, and all that. But we've all been tight, and we just lay it out. Now we'll always have our opinions, because that's what friends do. We always let each other know, how their team's doing, or you know what I mean. It's just how it is.
It's always fun to reminisce about Jesse Lingard doing a moonwalk at the Emirates. Never let that one go.
No, it's fine. Just as high as you are, you just can't beat us. It's just what it is. But hey, it is what it is. But yeah, so Mr. Manchester United, let's kick things off. Of course, you are second in the table. Unfortunately, we are ninth.
Yeah.
But I just want to get your thoughts on the season itself. And of course, the previous results. So let's start with the results, performances-wise. How do you feel?
I think this season so far, it's been an interesting one. It's been a bit weird, but it's been interesting because, we're not the same Man United we was once upon a time. And, as people like to commonly point out, we are managed by a PE teacher, Ole. But we're second. Weirdly enough, we had a good run where we were smashing it up left, right, and well, we wasn't even smashing it up. Let me not lie. We were scraping through games. Let me not say that one. I was gonna say doggy style. No. we was literally scraping through games. West Ham being one that comes to mind. Southampton, another one that comes to mind. Not when we put 9 past them, but we've really scraped through a lot of games this season. And we won ugly. We're now in a weird patch. I think after we played Arsenal, it's been draw. It's weird, but we're second. Do you mean? And we had a shocking result on Sunday at Leicester, but I think at this point in the season, to be honest with you, based on the way that it's been, there's nothing that really surprises me anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's obviously interesting that you mentioned Arsenal in ninth because it's Arsenal. It's a weird place for you lot to be. How's it feel down there?
Well, not great. If I'm going to be honest, of course, I really couldn't think of something to say there, but it's not totally honest with me. But no, it's not great. This season has been. Oh boy, it's been absolutely crazy, like you said, overall. But for Arsenal, it's been piss poor. Gonna be honest with you, we came in, Arteta, first full-fledged season as the manager now, as he was coach before. And, we see the likes of Gabriel come in, Thomas Partey come in, and obviously Willian, who a lot of us have our gripes with. And, off of the back of the FA Cup win, there was a lot of fans kind of a little bit more optimistic this season, thinking, okay, we won the FA Cup. Yes, we had a poor season in 8th, but let's try to do something. And we started off okay, Fulham was fine, and, West Ham was, the Liverpool happened. There's just been a lot of bad performances. I felt our luck kind of turned around once we saw the likes of ESR and Martinelli and the loan signing of Odegaard come in. And, performances, just inconsistent, I have to say, for me. As you guys know, the channel I've been very moody and upbeat. Next video down. You know what I'm saying? And this is just a life as a Arsenal fan right now, you know, and it's a lot to take in. And there's, you know, theories about the manager, the players, should be kept Aubameyang on, this, that, and the third. And, you know, you kind of see little bits of progress, but the problem is I feel, you know, there's still a lot of players that got to go and they're letting us down. And, you know, of course, the match yesterday against West Ham was, I mean, oh my God. A lot of people are saying that was probably game of the season, you know, in the way West Ham just dominated us within half an hour, especially within 16 minutes to be exact, getting 2 quick goals. Arsenal asleep for them, and, you know, we were able to pull a goal back, even though it was an own goal by the end of the half. And then second half, which has been our season, we're just a second half team. We were able to pull it back, you know.
So it's weird, you know. I watched that game, yeah, and I'm telling you, some of them own goals, boy, geez whiz. I think it might have been the second one. It looked like it was a full-blown strike on goal. Crazy.
We should have played him up top instead of Aubameyang.
That was madness. It's just like, yeah, so I think Jesse Lingard was kind of pivotal in that game. He'd done a lot of footwork, to be honest with you. You know, his goal was great, good goal. I had the setup for Bowen, that was even flipping better. I mean, I don't remember the ref blowing the whistle, but I suppose goal stood. And I'm not even an Arsenal fan. I mean, Agent Jesse done well. Do you mean he's still yeah, I don't know if he should be on our first team, but he done well. And, you know, Arsenal, Lacazette especially, I mean, Lacazette was taking shells at the start of the season. Like, nobody rated Lacazette. I was even calling him Lacazette. I mean, I actually really do like that guy as a player. He actually looked pretty sharp. But he does kind of look like he's a bit fed up at Arsenal, to be fair. Does look a bit tired.
Yeah, I think it's crazy because I feel like he don't really get that much respect. However, I mean, when you kind of weigh his goals up with Aubameyang, it's kind of like, well, a lot of people lean towards Aubameyang because he gets a lot of goals. You know what I mean? And I feel with Lacazette, he's been in and out of form. And my gripes with Lacazette is sometimes he does a little bit too much than what he needs to do. But, you know, he works a lot harder than Aubameyang. And I feel he's kind of showing up Aubameyang right now, if I'm honest with you. You know?
I think Aubameyang is a special player. I think I suppose I'm an outsider. So obviously it's a bit like when we looked at Sanchez a few years ago. And I was like, yeah, I think Sanchez is a decent player at Arsenal. And then he came and he just was done out when he came to us. And I think Aubameyang, maybe I might be looking at it similarly, but I think Aubameyang for me is probably one of your better players. Recently, he's been a bit cold. He's been a bit off the ball recently. Do you mean? But I feel like selling him, I don't know if that's the right idea. Keeping him, I don't know if that's the right idea. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's crazy because last season there was a lot of us that were kind of like, well, what do we do? Do we keep? Do we sell him? You know, because, you know, pretty much he won the FA Cup for us by himself. Like, he basically kept us afloat, you know. Obviously, with the likes of Saka, obviously putting in some work as well. He can't go unnoticed either, and a few other players, but notably Aubameyang, if he wasn't playing, where were the goals coming from? And obviously we saw a bit of that when he got suspended for a few games last season, and of course Martinelli came in and he did what he did, you know. But this season, it just hasn't been great for Aubameyang, and you know, there's a lot of Arsenal fans wavering now, thinking, oh, should we have sold him now because he's going for this purple patch? And of course, you know, we and you talked on it about his attitude issues as well, you know, especially the North London derby. That didn't really sit well with me. That really didn't sit well with me because you're the captain of the club and you're late. And apparently this ain't the first time this has happened in Arsenal, funnily enough. Maybe under Arteta. I don't know about Emery or even when he was under Wenger. I heard nothing about that. But also, I feel a lot of us Arsenal fans have forgotten, he did have disciplinary issues at Dortmund as well, near towards the end. There was a lot of stories coming out, him and the owner, not really the owner, but like the chairman of the club, and, him and Tuchel, and, he missed certain games, holidays, and, other stuff. And it kind of, when you hear that again, it's like, oh, we can't really be dealing with this again, can we? And of course, we had the Ozil issue as well, him not putting enough work in the last few seasons when picked, and the money as well, the amount of money that Aubameyang is on, which is pretty much the same wage Ozil was on, and it's like, does Aubameyang justify getting that wage because of what he's done or what he's going to do? So, it was always a risk. Me personally, I probably would have gave him 2 years instead of 3. But if there's any way, we could try make some money when he wants to go or when it gets near to the time, then I guess so. Because, Arsenal, we always let our players just walk on out of here for no fees, which
okay. So
saying that been the norm. But yeah.
So saying that then, getting money for your players and not let them go for free. Who buys Aubameyang?
I don't know. That's the question, because you got to look at the wages. The wages are important. Who is going to take that wage? Is Aubameyang really going to take a pay cut if he ends up leaving? I mean, Manchester City could do that. PSG could do that. But honestly, I don't really see them coming for him, if I'm honest.
So suggesting that he would take a pay cut, one would assume that you're saying that he's going to go to a lesser club. He won't go to any of the big boys, the Reals, Man Cities, the Barcelonas, PSG. Well, PSG is not a big boy team, but I'm going with it. Potentially back to Dortmund. Would that be an option? Bearing in mind that Haaland is potentially on the move.
That is true, but I don't know. I don't think Aubameyang will go back, to be honest. I mean, I know him and I think it was either the technical director or the sporting director had a massive falling out because of a promise that apparently was made about Dembele, who's currently at Barcelona. He was told, not to sell him, and obviously Barcelona came in with that cash, and Dortmund already. We put the cash up, they'll take it. Eventually, because Dortmund try to play games sometimes, but I don't know. I don't think he'll go back to Dortmund. I think he'll probably look, I don't know, maybe Spain, maybe. I don't know. I know his dream was to play for Real Madrid, but to be honest, I don't think Real Madrid will probably look at him now, as a 31-year-old going on. So I don't know, honestly.
I think at this point, his best chance is joining Granada. Yeah, that might be a good place for him.
Oh, God. Granada, that's cheeky. I could ask you the same question about Anthony Martial. I mean, he ain't really been looking the same as of last season. I know his goal tally was very good last season. I heard a lot of Man United fans on social media talking about you being in contention for the Golden Boot this season, but he just looks a shell of himself this season. I mean, what for you, for your standards on Martial? And I rate him myself. I mean, what's going on? Like, what's your feelings on Martial?
It's an interesting one, Martial. I think he spends a lot of time out injured. When he does play, he looks slightly off the pace. He's always looking for the diagonal ball. He's always drifting off to the left and to the right. He says he wants to be a central striker. Is he a central striker is a question. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I feel like not only him, in all fairness, I think our front line is just completely washed at the moment. Do you know what I mean? I think I said it earlier in the start of the season to a few people. I think everything's played through Bruno. We struggle when he doesn't play, but then we kind of struggle when he does play because he's very greedy. He doesn't pass the ball when he should pass the ball sometimes.
Yeah.
that also would hinder a striker being Martial or Rashford. Rashford as well. Rashford's had his moments where he's looked solid and then he goes cold and he's a bit like, I think it might have been the Sheffield United game. I think it was 3-2, if I'm correct in saying that, where he scored. Like, he was silent majority of the game. And Rashford's just had his moments, you know what I mean? And there's been games where he's looked super, and then there's games where he's not. Do you mean? I think our forward line is just struggling. I think we need a signing. We need a striker, basically. We need a striker that allows Martial to play out wide. We need a striker that allows Rashford to play out wide and drift in. I think the problem is probably bigger than Martial at this point, because I think we're asking too much for him right now. You know, if I'm honest,
I think so.
I think he's not. For me, he's not a striker. Not number 9. No. You know.
This is what obviously, you know, guys, you wouldn't know this, but like obviously, like I said, me and him, we talk about everything. You know, he's my bro. I've known him since we were kids. But you know, I've asked you this question several times this season as well, and maybe even last season, but not so much last season, more this season. And we've debated. I've said I think Martial is better as on the wide. You know, he just cuts in and does that magic, you know, as he can do, because we know Martial is a baller. But I think he's better off out the wide, if I'm totally honest. I think you definitely need a new striker. I think, you know, I've said to you before in the past, I think Martial is better out on the wide, just cutting in. I just don't feel, you know, I know a lot of people say he's number 9, this, that, and the third. I've heard the song, you know, unfortunately. But look, at the end of the day, I think he's better off as a wide dude. Me and you have had many, many, many conversations about Martial, what's his best position. And I still think him as a wide player is better. And, you know, yeah, you guys do need a striker, like a proper out-and-out striker. I mean, unfortunately, this is going to hurt me saying it's the last person I can think of is probably the snake himself, Van Persie, you know. But other than that, I don't really see anyone in Manchester United team that could probably get you 20 goals a season plus.
Yep.
If that, you know what I mean, maybe 18, even more than that, you know, that can get you guys fighting for the title, you know.
I think Rashford will get us 18, 20 a season if he can stay fit. Back problem, ankle problem, all that. If he can stay fit, I reckon he can get us 20. Not as a central striker, though. I think Mason Greenwood, he'd get us 15 max in a season. Martial,
he's got a lot of time.
I think Martial's an 8 to 10 kind of player. I think he had a really outstanding season last year until the injuries came in. You know, he was holding it up when Rashford was out. When we thought we was finished, he come in and he was just icy. Do you know what I mean? But I think we need one of my favorite players of all time. One of my favorite players. I've got loads of favorite players, but we need a David Villa. We need a David Villa that's just gonna bottom corner every time. You know what I mean? One of those players where it's like Griezmann at the World Cup or Mbappe right now. Like, they know when this ball gets to the 18-yard box, you know what's happening, right? You know where it's going. And there ain't no one that's going to tell me different. You can slide tackle as much as you want. This is going in one place. We need that kind of striker. Do you know what I mean? We need a striker that's sure and ready just to pounce at any point. Do you know what I mean? The kind of striker that I really like a striker like Chicharito Hernandez back in the day. That guy would score with anything. Yeah, he scored with his head. He scored with his arm. He scored. I mean, like, we need a striker. You know what I mean, that's where we're at. And I think Martial, he's done his bit, but he definitely needs to go back out wide. But then him going back out wide means what wing does he go on, left or right? To me, because Rashford is poor down the right, he's better down the left. Martial's poor down the right, and he's better down the left. Do you mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Do we then change our formation? Do we go back to doing interchanges where we were swapping Rashford, Martial? Do we go back to doing that? Do you mean? Because when we was doing that, they were both getting goals. Do you mean? I don't know. It's an interesting one, and I think this summer will be a big test of Ole's resolve and the cash that we have or don't have, because we have to bring in a striker. It's, we have to bring in a goalkeeper. We have to bring in a centre back. We have to bring in another midfielder to replace Fred and Matic and McTominay.
That's the fans' favorite. A lot of Man United fans watch this video probably get upset with the whole McTominay thing. I don't know.
You know what? Yeah,
I don't know. I'm here 1 minute McSauce, next minute McFlurry, as I call him. I don't know.
You know what? Yeah, he was.
I didn't make that stuff up, but hey,
he was McSauce at one point, but now he's definitely McMuffin. He's completely. I don't know, man. People saying, "Oh, he's scoring goals. He offers goal threats." Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, but he's getting a bit too comfortable with that side pass. Way too comfortable.
You know what? You know what? It was his fault for that goal in the FA Cup yesterday, man. I don't know what he was doing.
That was Fred. I don't know what he was doing.
I bet for the was it the third goal?
Oh yeah, the third goal. Oh my!
Henderson absolutely got spanked on that one. But jeez.
See, even that
we can touch on the performances a little bit more if you want, but go ahead.
Even that, yeah. Like when I was watching the game, and I'm thinking, geez. Yeah. I said to someone, they go, "What do you reckon United are going to win?" I said, "Nah." Mace scored, and I was like, "Do you reckon you're going to come back?" I was like, "Nah." I'll be honest with you. This is what we do. We chase the game, concede a goal, then chase the game some more, and then score, and then go to sleep. And then it's the last 10 minutes or so, the last 20 minutes or so, but we actually start playing looking like we actually should be winning the game. Do you mean it? And that is where the problem is, because our players are not, the players that we're playing are not good enough to do that. And then he does things like this. He'll take off Donny van der Beek and leave Fred on, he's just been the worst player on the pitch the whole way through. Then he'll bring on.
That goal.
That
goal, man. Damn.
Just to say that Van der Beek wasn't much better, but he wasn't the worst. Do you mean? He'll take him off, and then he'll bring on Scott McTominay. What does he offer apart from side passes? He come on, he made a mistake, and we conceded a third goal. When really and truly, we shouldn't have brought him on. We should have left Pogba on, because Pogba was probably the best player we had for a good period of time. I mean, Tellez was probably one of the better players as well. Who did we have up front? I don't even remember, because they was missing the whole game. Martial missing. Do you know what I'm saying? Running into the channels every time. Didn't make sense. So it's I think we've got a lot of deeper problems going on. You know what I mean? We definitely need to replace a lot of players, a lot of positions. And I said it before, and I stand on my sword when I say this. Henderson's not the answer. We need a goalkeeper. Henderson is not the answer. That guy is flappy and panicky. No.
He had a very decent season at Sheffield United. In fact, he was probably one of the best goalkeepers in the league last season with Sheffield United, to be fair to him. But, again, we've had our conversations obviously off camera. And I remember you saying to me, like, you're not sure. I remember you said to me, you're not sure, because obviously the likes of Sheffield United and Manchester United are massive.
Two different
massive. So he's got a massive, it's a massive responsibility. And, and obviously we can touch on the hair a little bit in this conversation too, in terms of, his longevity as well. Because he's away on baby duty right now.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable with Henderson finishing off the rest of the season? That could potentially might happen. You're still in the Europa League. Let's be honest, the league title's pretty much going to the blue side of Manchester currently, But this is it. Henderson for us this season's goalie, potentially.
Let's weigh it up here. So we've got Brighton next on Sunday. Do I see us winning that?
Well, after the international break.
It's April 4th. Sunday, April 4th.
All right, cool.
Yeah, we got Brighton. Do I see us conceding a goal? Probably not. No. So I'm going clean sheet. I'm not going to predict what the score's going to be because with my team, you never know where it could be. It could be a 0-0 draw, or it could be a 1-0 win. Do you mean? Then we go to Granada. Granada, I can't comment too much on them. I'm not entirely sure how their season's going so far. So I don't want to take anything away from them. Then we go to Tottenham. Tottenham already put 6 past us. Do you mean? Tottenham, they didn't look too bad yesterday, to be fair. On Sunday, they didn't look too bad. I don't think they're amazingly great, though. Do I see them scoring? Probably, yeah, I do. Then we go back to Granada. Then we play Burnley again. We play Burnley. I can see them putting a goal.
That was a bit tough.
I can see it. I can see a 1-1.
Yeah.
Then we go to Leeds. That's a problem in itself because Leeds actually play decent. Rafinha is a problem. Bamford's a problem. I can see us conceding there again as well. Then we go to Liverpool.
I could also see you scoring in Leeds as well. I mean, the way they play, they're quite open. And look, you destroyed them at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
So I mean, that can't be forgotten.
Yeah, this is the thing. I think I've said this about Leeds from the start of the season, and I felt the same about them last season as well, and the season before that, and probably the season before that, and before that, and before that. Every year that they've been meant to be going up from the Championship, and they haven't. They play really well, really, really well.
Yeah.
I feel like they burn themselves out at the start of the season very quickly, and if they don't do that, they play well, but they just can't defend. Do you mean they spend so much time focused on that perfect attack that the defense is a bit ropey? Do you know what I mean? And when they played us, I think they was in a period where they was playing really good. They just couldn't seem to keep the goals from leaking in. Do you know what I mean? And they kind of find a balance. They've kind of found a balance now. Do you know what I mean? And we're going to go to them in a couple of weeks' time. I reckon it'll be a tough game. I don't reckon it'll be a rollover at all.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll go to Liverpool. Liverpool will score. There's no doubt in that. Then we got Aston Villa. Aston Villa always seems to give us headache when we play Aston Villa. So I think they'll probably score.
I'm so done with Aston Villa. I'm so glad. We don't have to play them. We back-to-back losses this season. Absolutely disgusting. But yeah, the less I talk about Villa, the better.
They're a decent side. I mean, and they cause a lot of problems. After that, we go to Leicester, or Leicester come to us. We saw what happened, and Nacho is looking. And Nacho, I've spoke to you about Nacho when he was at Manchester City, and I said to you, this guy is proper, And then when he went to Leicester, I always thought it would be him and Demarai Gray to run that line, and Vardy would have been done out. But Demarai Gray kind of didn't really hit the heights he was supposed to hit. And Nacho's been, he's been a spare part until he scored his hat-trick the other day, and he kind of people started to take note. And Nacho, ex-Manchester City player, but it's a wicked player. Wicked player. Fulham, you never know with Fulham, but I think it could be a clean sheet. Then
I think we'll be all right with Fulham.
Our last game is Wolves. I'm not even going to mention anything about Wolves because Wolves are another team that always give us problems. See what I'm saying? So I think will Henderson do well for the remainder of the season? Probably. Granted the teams that we're playing, I think he will do well.
Yeah. Right. Well, I guess I'll quickly touch on me, Arsenal. I mean, I'm not really too confident for the rest of the season. I mean, a lot of the fan base have basically thrown the league away. They've kind of just said, well, the season's over. Whatever happens, happens. Me, I'm kind of different. I'm not going to lie. I mean, the West Ham result, for me, really annoyed me. I mean, for a neutral standpoint, and it was a good game in the manner we actually tried to come back. But I'm sorry, that first half an hour is very, very unforgivable. I haven't seen Arsenal concede 3 goals in that manner since earlier on in the season against Aston Villa. You know, so to see that happen again just says like, well, there's clearly more that needs to be done. I wasn't happy the fact that, you know, Gabriel weren't playing, who's free from me is the best centre back at the club. You know, and I've heard a lot of other people kind of say that. I don't know if you're in agreement with me with that, but I think Gabriel was pretty much easily. You know,
he's a decent defender. Would you say he's one of the better centre backs in the league?
I'm not sure, you know, because obviously it's his first season and he's adapted well. There's still a few tweaks he has to learn, but I don't know, you know. I rate him highly.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a lot of there's actually quite a few decent centre backs in the league. You know, obviously we're going to take Van Dijk out because he's been injured majority of the season. So obviously he's out.
I don't wish him no bad, but I'm actually quite glad we haven't heard about Van Dijk this season. You know, because that was one thing that really annoyed me last year. Everything was about Van Dijk and how he's unbeaten and no one can go past him and all this crap. That really annoyed me. Oh, Dan James did as well, and Dan James is yeah.
Yeah, well, Dan James.
Make up your own opinion about Dan James.
Are you actually asking me about Dan James?
No. I leave it up to your subscribers to make up their own opinion on Dan James.
Guys, comment below. What do you think of Dan James? Honestly. Man. He's something else. He's like the B-Tech Walcott, but at the same time, Walcott wasn't any great, you know.
Walcott was the B-Tech Walcott. There can't be a B-Tech Walcott because he was the B-Tech Walcott. He's the B-Tech of his damn self.
But I mean, when you weigh up Daniel James and Theo Walcott, I mean, I don't really see much difference. But at the same time, when it comes to end product, I mean, who do you lean towards? I mean, I know Walcott got a lot of goals at Arsenal, but he was here for like 10 years. So, I mean, boy.
See,
and then there's Daniel James. I mean, he does his run.
Dan James is still young. There's still room for him to progress,
I suppose.
I mean, especially
he's at Manchester United.
Yeah, there's still room for him to progress, especially at another club. But that's all down to Ole and the board and his performances, I guess. You know, do I think there's a room for him on the wing? No, I don't. I think Mason Green was better than him. I think Mason Green starts ahead of him every time.
But I think for me, Greenwood needs to be in that middle eventually. The same way I kind of look at Martinelli a little bit. That's you know, I kind of have the same. I guess we kind of have the same issue in terms of the forward line. You know, Lacazette. Bit inconsistent at times, but you know he can work hard and do a good job. Aubameyang's been up and down, but you know on his day he can bag you a lot of goals. Saka, I think for me, he's a very good player, but obviously there's still time to get better than he has been getting better. But for me, it's just his end product needs seriously to be worked on. Obviously, guys, I'm not getting at Saka, but I like Saka, but his end product's just not good enough, you know.
Yeah, I think
Martinelli.
Saka's only 18. He's still learning straight. Do you know what I mean? He's still learning.
18, 19. Yeah, he's still learning. That's the thing with Saka. That's why I'm kind of obviously I give Saka a pass anyways because realistically, I give all our young players a pass. I mean, all these old experienced players, there's no excuses for them right now. Let's be honest, because the youngsters have been turning up when called upon, and that's one thing which has been annoying because realistically it should be the other way around. It should be the experienced players that are playing well and the youngsters growing into the game and getting better and better and then leading on to experienced players. But half the time when I look at Arsenal, it's always the opposite way.
Yeah, I think
right.
The young players are doing well on your side. I mean, speaking of young players, how do you feel Martin Odegaard has changed your side? Do you feel he's changed it for the better? Do you feel like does he play when you guys play him? Would you play him ahead of Smith Rowe, or would you play him out? Because he plays from the left. Well, he did for a period in his career from the left, and obviously he plays through the middle. But you guys have got Smith Rowe playing through the middle, if I'm correct, and Saka and Pepe playing down the wings. Where do you fit Martin Odegaard into Arsenal?
I'm a big fan of that guy. A lot of people, me and you spoke about Odegaard. I said I don't really know what to expect from him. You told me he's a very good talent. Other people have as well. I like him a lot. Man. He definitely.
Just for context, obviously. Just for context, obviously, I watched a lot of Real Madrid, youth team. Mm-hmm. For a period of my life.
Trust me, the Real Madrid scout, guys. The Real Madrid scout. I don't know what Man United are doing, but you need to get this guy on your team. All right. Yeah. I hate to do that to my rivals and talk it up, but trust me, give my boy a job at Man United. I'm just saying. I'd rather him come to Arsenal, but he don't like Arsenal. But yeah, that's just the reality. But
Arsenal's the closer drive to home. So I mean, who knows if they're paying me the right amount of money.
Hey, listen, if you could bring me along, it's great. Get me a contract, man. Tough times out here, bro.
Fair play.
Tough times. Trust me. But yeah, I mean, you see them at Real Madrid yourself, watching a lot of the youth sides, and I mean, he has to play. For me, he has to play number 10. Smith Rowe, I like Smith Rowe a lot. And there's times where he can play on the left as well. We've seen that. Even in the North London derby, he started out on the left as well. I mean, it's proven. A lot of fans were kind of worried about Odegaard coming in and messing up Smith Rowe's development. And Smith Rowe's kind of touched on it himself. He said, we can play together, we can play one without the other, but there's a good connection there. And that's the thing with Smith Rowe. He can be utilised across the three.
How old is Smith Rowe?
For me, he's number 10, 100%.
How old is Smith Rowe? 19?
18, 19.
Okay, so there's only a couple of years difference between them. Odegaard is 24?
Something around that. 23, 24. It's quite young.
Yeah.
Quite young.
He's been around for a while because obviously he came to fame when he was 15. And everybody wanted him when he was 15. And he had his own little documentary by the time he was 17 years old. Which I mean, it's only about 5 minutes long, but
I didn't even know that, but yeah.
Mine, Odegaard. Norway's answer to. But then again, where's Haaland from? He's Norwegian. Yeah, that's an interesting combination.
And he's the Norwegian captain as of 3 weeks ago. He's been made now. He's the Norwegian captain.
Time's flown. Time's flown because it felt like that was only last week, but yeah, no, it was a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, that's an interesting.
I mean, if you're an Arsenal fan, take your Manchester United hat off. Yeah. If you're an Arsenal fan, or even just being a football fan, would you sign Oliver from what you've seen at Arsenal, or do you think you would loan him for another season and see how it works, or would you just sign him up right away? What would you do, or look elsewhere?
For me, it's an easy answer because obviously I've watched Martin Odegaard for a long time. I've seen him when he played in the lower sides in Spain. When he played in, I think Herenveen he played in as well, and he found his feet again. And he is a good player. He's a very good player. I feel like he's developed his game quite a bit, and he's mastered his trade. Me personally, would I sign him? Any club I'm at, I'll sign him. I think he's a good benchmark of the quality of player that you would want to get in it at your club. I think, yeah. I think the only problem with Martin Odegaard right now is Real Madrid. That's the only issue. They can see the potential in him. They don't have the room to play him, but they don't want to let him go. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think he's one of those players where if he might go through what Isco went through, being basically a bench player for a long period of time, then finally getting a run in Real Madrid. then after they've used him, they were like, yeah, enough of you. We're going to let you go. And by that point, he'd be kind of finished. Do you know what I mean? Because he's in his heyday now. Something. Oh no, he's in his prime now. Should I say? Not his heyday. Sorry. Do you mean?
He ain't even quite there yet, is he? He's not almost in his prime. He's like on the verge. Well, prime years really.
Yeah, but these are the years where you expect to get the most out of him. Do you mean? Like obviously everything else before that was just an audition. You know.
Yeah.
That we're no longer talking about practice now. We're talking about the game, and I feel like he's a quality player, and I think he'll. Real Madrid put him up for sale. Every team's going for him.
That is true. And that's the scary part. I mean, there has been a lot of talk in the press that Odegaard's representatives have spoken to Real Madrid. Odegaard's keen to stay at Arsenal. He seems to be happy here. He seems to like Arteta. And, with rumours like that circulating, that gives me good spirits. But again, it's, is it going to happen? Or Arsenal going to pay the money for Martin Odegaard? You know what I mean? And my issue is, because I know my club don't spend a lot of money, are we going to do that? And on top of that, we know Real Madrid, need some money. So you scratch my back, I scratch yours type of stuff. They can have Ceballos back. I couldn't give a toss. But
Ceballos is still there.
Ceballos is still here, unfortunately.
Jeez.
Arsenal got Real Madrid.
Is he still at Arsenal?
Unfortunately.
Jeez.
And I say unfortunately because this season, last season, there's been a few fans that were a little up and down about him. Me personally, I wasn't. I said, I need to see more from Ceballos. I don't really see what he offered. Everyone got excited against Aston Villa last season, when we went down to 10 men and, we won 3-2 that game. And then obviously he got the winning goal against Sheffield United, who were kind of taking everybody apart that season, remember, in the FA Cup, which obviously, got us to playing City and then the rest is history. But since he's come back, he's been very underwhelming at times. And especially in the last few weeks, the guy has literally cost us goals. And even the game against West Ham, was it West Ham? No, he didn't even play. What game was it? I think it was Benfica. He had a howler, conceding, basically giving up 2 goals. Yeah. And it was Olympiacos. He's just been all over the place. Personally, obviously I know who I want in the midfield, but Ceballos is not the answer. And I see a lot of Arsenal fans really starting to see that now, but honestly, I wouldn't take Ceballos if you chop my fingers off. I'm sorry.
It's funny. Honestly. I do remember last season, Ceballos played a couple of games and a couple of Arsenal fans was like, yeah, Ceballos, yeah, he's so good. I'm like, this guy's trash. He's so crap. He can't even make it at Real Madrid. I'm not seeing anything good from this player. But saying that, I guess I wouldn't watch Arsenal as much as you Arsenal fans. However, I watch games and he's trash. I mean, I don't understand why you not even extended his loan, to be fair. I would have got rid of him at the first chance I got. Do you mean?
I know. There's so much other quality players to play in that number 8 role, and he is not it. I'm telling you, oh, God. Dude, honestly, like I've said, the player that I want to come in, next to Partey, and, hopefully that means the end of Granit Xhaka, but we all know that ain't probably going to happen. Is that Brighton? That Brighton? That's for me. So
I give Granit Xhaka all ratings. You know why? That guy's weathered the storm with the captaincy, playing really bad, making all the mistakes he's made, and he's still first pick on your team sheet.
Well, this is the thing. Arteta seems to, and you know what? Let me even go back, right? From the moment that guy was signed instead of Kante, which to me still bugs my mind, it's been bad. We haven't been in the Champions League since this man has signed for the club. That says a lot, right? And one of the most important areas in the pitch where we haven't had a midfielder of the ilk of Vieira or Gilberto Silva or any of those type to hold it down in that midfield. We haven't. From Xhaka, it's been absolutely bad. And he's had some decent games this season. Let me not knock him, but I expect that from Granit Xhaka. It's taken 5 years to get to a good sense of form, but you're gonna get Xhaka mistakes like he did at Burnley. It's just in his game, and Wenger, Emery, Arteta. I mean, they seem to just see something that a lot of us fans don't see, which is just, I don't know what you see. I don't know what you see, I mean, like I said, he's had performances that have been decent this season, but I expect that at the minimum, you know? So it's like, I'm sorry, I don't care. Like, I'll praise you when you do well, but when you do poor, I will still tear you apart. It's a simple, and that goes for every player. The other day, I had to go at Aubameyang yesterday. Just a fairly, and same for the Olympiacos game, and the North London derby about his lateness and not even playing. I will have a go. There's no even favourites like Saka. I love Saka, but I have a go at him because he hasn't been playing well. After he got taken out of the team, I'll have a go at him. So no player is safe. The guy behind me is one of my favourite players at the Arsenal. He didn't play that well yesterday. In fact, one of the goals was his fault too. But we can't play without him. So
that's the second goal that Bowen scored.
Yeah,
he was sleeping.
He was sleeping. All of them were sleeping. All of them. It was absolutely.
I'm not gonna lie. I was sleeping too, and I wasn't even on the pitch. Do you mean? Because I did not see that coming.
Well,
I didn't even hear I said it before. I did not hear the whistle. I don't know if I'm deaf or something.
But again, do you remember Arsenal versus Porto years ago? Probably like 10 years ago now.
What, the one where Van Persie got sent off because he kicked the ball and he said he didn't hear the whistle?
No, that was Barcelona, and that still.
Was it Barcelona where he got sent off? And it was
Barcelona.
Okay.
That was Barcelona. Yeah, I remember we were wearing yellow that day. Yeah.
Yeah, he was
the Porto one. Yeah, the Porto one, we were. Away.
I remember that, the free kick. Was it Falcao that did it?
Sorry?
Oh no, you're talking back. Okay.
I'm sure it was was it 2011 or even? No, I think it was further. I can't remember.
Is that the one where
that was when Sol Campbell came back? I'm pretty sure Sol Campbell came back to Arsenal for a short period of time. I'm pretty sure. Guys, in the comment section, let me know if you remember that Porto game.
I do remember that.
Even
I think it was Falcao, and he put the ball down and he just kicked it straight in. I do remember that. I remember that.
You know what I mean? Some things never leave you. I mean, I thought of that immediately. But Leno's goalkeeper for that goal, I've been saying it, bro. How many times have I complained to you about Leno? But how many times I've said Leno's done good things, but I don't think he's the keeper. I've been saying this for a while.
I think it would have been better.
I'm having debates with people about Martinez, and
I think it would have been better if you kept the guy you let go to Villa, Martinez. I think he would have been a better fit.
I think personally, and this is the thing with Leno, he doesn't command his box well, and obviously we've had debates about goalkeepers and, defense and, your goalkeeper doesn't need to do that much. I remember you said that, something like that, right?
I said that you get certain goalkeepers that they get comfortable because they have amazing defenders in front of them and they kind of don't seem to command their box very well because they know that, I've got this player in front of me and he's going to do the job for me, sort of thing. There's quite a few keepers that are in that position. Like, for example, the Fulham keeper.
Did you put Alisson in there?
I would put Alisson in there. I think Alisson doesn't really have to worry about anything because Mr. Super Van Dijk's there to take care of everything. Do you know what I mean? But now he's gone.
Well,
he's not gone. He's just injured for a period. Yeah. He's kind of Alisson's kind of finding it hard to, command that box and command that back line in the way that he should. Because he hasn't had to do it for such a long time because Van Dijk's done it.
Yeah, I mean, so like the thing is with the goalkeeper, I just don't see Leno being a commanding goalkeeper. And like you said, I mean, Alisson, without Van Dijk, he's been exposed, you know, and obviously Liverpool fans are going to start talking up in the comments, whatever. But I mean, that's pretty obvious. Since Van Dijk got hurt, Liverpool have kind of just went, ew, you know what I mean? For me, with Arsenal, I just feel we sold the wrong goalkeeper. You know, I've had debates about Leno. Leno's been good at times, but is he good enough for Arsenal to at least get back to, you know, being in the top four and then trying to push on to challenge the likes of Man City? Now you guys Liverpool, you know, Liverpool at the time, you know, for the league, you know, in the later stage, I don't think so. But that's just my personal opinion. I think Martinez is someone we definitely missed out on. And, you know, personally, I feel we should be looking at a keeper. I mean, Donnarumma's on the market at the end of the season. I mean, I might look at that.
Do you know what? Yeah. Once upon a time, I would have said, yeah, I think he's a keeper to go for. But I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. He looked a bit flappy the other day.
Shaky against you lot.
He didn't look too good.
You know, do you know what? That's going to bring me into the next segment of this video, of course. Europa League. Now, the draw was made the other day.
Yeah.
Of course, you guys got the guys that I wanted in Grenada, which, you know, Granada, how you want to pronounce it. Sorry if I butchered that, but it is what it is, guys. Apologies. And we ended up with Slavia Prague. So, yeah, your thoughts on the draw and, of course, your route to the final, because obviously if you get past that team, then you got Roma or Ajax to play your route to the final. So, your thoughts?
I think we ain't really got to worry about our route to the final, to be honest with you. I think Granada, I mean, I don't know massive amounts about them, but anytime we play against Spanish sides, we always struggle. We always seem to get turned over when we shouldn't.
Well, you're bust Sociedad this season. I mean, you just slapped them up that way.
Yeah, so, but I mean, that was early doors, and that's when we was actually looking. We wasn't drawing every flipping other game. Do you mean, you know? If we do get for this round, going to the next round, Ajax, Roma, two tough games. If we did get through, I'd probably rather Ajax than Roma, if I'm honest. I think Roma probably look a bit more solid, which is not what we want. We want an easy route to the final. Do I think we'll get, if we do get all the way, do I think it will be an all-English final? It's an interesting one. Do I think it'll be an all-English final? Do I see you lot getting past Villarreal or Zagreb? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Villarreal is managed by a certain friend of yours, and he's got the formula.
Mr. Good evening.
Yeah, he's got the formula of the Europa League. So, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think you lot might, if you lot get past Prague, you know, Villarreal, if Villarreal get past Zagreb, I think Villarreal might do you.
I mean,
I think Villarreal will do us, to be fair.
Do you know what? I mean, it's kind of written in the stars, to be honest. Unai Emery, Arteta, if we get past Prague, like, let's be real, we don't know if we're going to get past Prague. We don't know. I mean, there's a lot riding on this game now because of the incident with our former youth player, Kamara, which, you know, yeah, I mean, fuck's sake. But
that situation is crazy, I think.
Yeah.
I think UEFA really got to figure this out really quick. You know,
they really need to. But I don't trust UEFA. I really don't. Like, you know, I spoke to you before about even when we played Chelsea in Baku. I mean, Mkhitaryan weren't going to travel. He feared for his life because of the situation, what was going down between the two countries. And I thought that was a bit unfair. In Baku, where it's literally Oh,
Go.
well, yeah. So I don't trust UEFA because of the Mkhitaryan issue personally, but yeah, Emery. Listen, if it comes to that, then it comes to that. That's what I'm gonna say. I still don't know if we'll even get to the final, and even if we get to the final, all English final, don't know. Seems to be in the cards. A lot of people seem to be wanting it to happen. It could have happened last season, but obviously we fell away very early. But who knows? If we do get there, of course, expect a preview with us. Expect that, guys.
I think if
yeah,
we do get there, my worry is losing to Arsenal in a European final is probably the worst situation. I mean, bearing in mind Manchester City are probably the most likely to win the Champions League. It couldn't get any worse than where we are today. So
maybe for both of us, playing them in the Super Cup. Oh God. Oh.
Long day.
If any of us play them in the Super Cup. Then again, your record against City recent years ain't been that great. Hasn't been great. I mean, hasn't been that bad, to be honest. Not great for them.
We put two past them.
I mean, you've been all right, to be honest. So, hey.
We'll see. We'll see.
For us.
It's an interesting, we're in an interesting position at the moment, so it'd be good to see.
Potentially. But, you know, just before we wrap up here, I'm going to ask you one final question. Of course, the Europa League is pretty much the only trophy that we're both fighting for.
Yeah.
So, and I'm also going to ask you about the manager as well. Just going to slide that one in. So, quick answers, of course. Do you see yourself staying second? Do you see yourself, how far in the Europa League will you get? And your quick thoughts on Ole. Will you keep him? Or do you prefer to keep him or get rid? Irish.
Okay. Where do I see ourselves? What do I see us finishing the Europa League? I reckon we'll probably go out next round if we're lucky to make it past this round. I think. What was the next question?
The season. Your season. Do you think you still
finish second?
Be second?
Do I think finishing second? We are making a meal of it at the moment. We should have been clear of Leicester a long time ago. We were faffing around. And we're really making second a hard job, which it shouldn't be a hard job at all. I'm going third.
And Chelsea are climbing up.
Yeah, I'm going to go third.
I mean,
that's what I'm going to go third. I think we're messing around. Chelsea again, like you said, they're just on a steam train at the moment. Leicester are playing well. Maddison's still to come back. Barnes still to come in. Well, I don't even know if he's going to play again this season, but I think we're messing around here. We're just making this situation harder than it needs to be. So yeah, third. And Ole. I think Ole needs to. I think Ole needs to stop doing tinker every 5 minutes and play our best side, play our best players, and don't mess with the formula unless there is something completely wrong. Buy a striker. I mean, he's lasted longer than I expected. I actually expected him to be sacked by November, but he's done all right. We're second. We played in semis since he's been there. So there's not much more you can ask for. You get certain coaches that get lots of credit, Pochettino, and they've only played in one final. So yeah.
A lot of Man United fans want Pochettino. A lot of Man United. I would have welcomed Poch at Arsenal, but that's up for a different debate. Before we round it off, I'll quickly give you my objectives. Me personally, I don't know. I think what. Well, honestly, I think Arsenal are going to finish outside European places. I had a hope the best finish I had a hope for is 7th, maybe slide back in, but I don't know. I think we're just too inconsistent. We still got hard games to come up. We got Liverpool after the international break and Chelsea down the line. We got, it's tough. It's tough. Europa League. Oh God. I think we can get past Prague. I think we can, but it's who we play after that. I think probably maybe the semi-finals. But I just don't think we got enough to go to the final and win it. So, and that's just my honest opinion. I mean, Arsenal need to convince me for the rest of the season why they're going to go to the final and why we're going to take a European trophy that's, part of the alluded in the trophy cabinet. We ain't won no European trophy since '94. So it's like we missed out against Chelsea. So make things right, Arsenal. That's all I want. Prove me wrong. That's all I can ask for. So, and Arteta, boy, I've been so up and down with Arteta. I've been so wishy-washy with him. I didn't want him to come in the first place. There's games where I can see things. There's games where I'm just like, your game management is peeing me off. You need to go. But, I mean, like I said, he's got time to change me around as long as he's in the club. But I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. I'm kind of on the fence. It's kind of 60-40 to me. The 60 is kind of out, So that's why I'm with Arteta. It's 60-40 right now. But like I said, he's got a lot to do. As long as he's in this job, he's got a lot to do to change my mind around. But being 9th, 10th, 15th, unacceptable. I'm not happy with that. But that is it, guys. We're going to wrap it up here. Thanks again for checking out this video. Of course, thanks to my boy Reiss here from Kingsgambit TV, guys. Reiss, want to plug it away? Let the viewers know where they can find you once again.
Yep. Follow me on Twitter at ReissFace. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Kingsgambit TV. New video out every Wednesday. Tesla video coming this week. Also, follow me on Twitch, Kingsgambit 10. We stream every day. We run our own pro club season. We do Call of Duty also. It goes off there. We go crazy. So follow.
And the links will be below, guys. And on that note, guys, thanks for checking out the channel. Of course, road to 150 subs by the end of March. And guys, let me know your thoughts on this video. And of course, if you want to see Kingsgambit TV back on this channel, let me know your thoughts in the comment section.